now £1.2 million supercar, of which only 77 are going to be made. Nobody's driven it yet. I'm about to ride in it. It's a little bit exclusive to drive just yet, but it's going to be demonstrated to me by somebody very special, Chris Porritt, who is the chief engineer of the program, a man that spends half his life racing Aston Martins and has just been doing exactly that in Daytona. Chris, what can I expect from this car?
I think you'll expect a very unique experience, Steve. It's obviously a very special car to Aston Martin. It's a very raw and pure car, and obviously very exciting as well. What we wanted to do is make sure that we've got customers in cars before inviting people as yourself along. But as you say, now's a good opportunity, and I'm sure you'll enjoy it.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure.
Chris, the key question for me about this car is, what were the terms of reference when you set out to build it? Clearly you had a range of Astons that we all understand, but this is something special. How was it defined in the first place?
Well, the idea was that we would do a car that would be considered as the ultimate expression of an Aston Martin today. So it would have the best performance, the most extreme design, if you like, and the sort of demonstration of what, you know, Astons of the future could be. It has to be unquestionably an Aston. If you take the badges off it, it is unquestionably an Aston. The architecture is effectively a development of what we learned from doing the V8 architecture cars, so the V8 and the DBS, and sort of taking some of those elements and making them a little bit more extreme. Right. So putting the engine behind the front axle centerline allowed us to be able to drop it down, which meant we could lower centre of gravity. It means cornering performance is better. It also means it gives us an opportunity to have a better weight distribution in the car as well. So all of these things were just pushing the sort of the capabilities of what are the things that we'd already learned from doing DB9 and V8 Vantage. So it produces 750 horsepower, 750 newton meters of torque, and the original design brief was that the engine needed to produce over 700 horsepower. And it was interesting, when we ran the first engine on the dyno, I remember calling Dr. Betts and saying, Dr. Betts, right, we've got 717 horsepower. And he turned back to me and he said, now your target is 750. So we went back to the guys in the design team and said, you know, what do you reckon? And they said, you know what, I don't think we'll be too far off with that. So they did a little bit more work, did some analysis, and proved that we could get to 750.
And not only is the car much more powerful than any other Aston, it's also lighter, I believe.
It is, yeah. So with using the carbon fibre structure and using new materials to Aston Martin in some of the areas, so the magnesium torque tube, using some clever integration of some of the systems on the car. So we looked at the engine intake coming through the structure of the car. That allows us to be able to save quite a bit of mass.
I see. And the interior has Aston Martin overtones, the exaggerated centre stack and so forth, and the instrument panel, but it is completely unique in this car.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, again, it's using the sort of design language that we have from our other cars and making it a little bit more extreme, or certainly in the case of the waterfall feature in the middle, making it completely different to look at, but very pure and elegant, and it sort of gives this sweeping, fast look to the interior of the car as well.
And I gather every single little piece of metal or decor, the metal is all metal, and some of this surface of the console that I'm looking at is a piece of aluminium machined from solid.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Amazing.
So you can imagine this centre part here, which is probably best part of 1.5 meters long, is machined from one big billet of aluminium.
Amazing.
It's nice for customers to come and look at the car and actually see some of the attention to detail that's gone into the machining and the engineering under the skin.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's also obviously a pleasure to show people such as yourself.
Tell me about the gearbox. There's it's clearly paddle shifted. It's rear mounted 6-speed, but it's not a twin clutch gearbox.
No, it's a single clutch gearbox, and a lot of that is down to a dual clutch transmission tends to be